So, hello there everyone and welcome. It is Aaron here and today it is time for episode number 3 of our FIFA 20 Newcastle career mode. It has been a very action-packed start to this series. If you haven't seen the first two, you can check out a link in the top right of the screen to the playlist. In the first episode, we went through pre-season, made our first signing. In the second episode, we played the first 2 games of the Premier League season and also made a club record signing. We've actually brought in 3 players in this transfer window. Eberici Eze from Queen's Park Rangers, Dani Olmo from Dinamo Zagreb, and also Yusuf Atal from OGC Nice. And they've all been for pretty decent deals. Eze was like 3.5 mil, Dani Olmo only cost 19 somehow, and Yusuf Atal was 14. And speaking of players being brought in, at the end of last episode, I gave you guys the option to choose which backup striker we would be bringing into the side. Now, I gave you 4 options against everyone's wishes because Teemu Pukki was not one of them. I explained it in the video last time. Regardless, your options were Odsonne Edouard, Erling Haaland, Daniel Malen or Marlon, and also Christian Kouame. Now, the winner of the vote was Erling Braut Haaland from Red Bull Salzburg, the worst of the players in terms of overall, but someone with a really good potential and someone who's really topical, having scored a hat-trick in the Champions League in real life recently. Now, that's all well and good. He won by actually quite a slim margin in terms of how these polls usually go, only 8% over Daniel Marlon. The problem with Erling is he's recently joined the club and won't move again. It's I will not lie to you lads, it's a blaring blunder on my part. We are, probably 2 minutes maximum into this video and I've already made a disgraceful mistake. I didn't realize people have been signing him on their career mode saves and he won't leave. If this was FIFA 19, I could have used the cheat table and made it so that we could bid anyway, but I don't think that feature is in the FIFA 20 cheat table yet. So unfortunately, despite Erling Haaland winning that vote, thankfully it was only by a slim margin. It's not like he absolutely dominated it. So Daniel Marlon, I mean, he's a better overall and he can also play as a winger, so theoretically it might actually be a better signing. Don't hate me for that one, guys. However, he is a whole chunk more expensive than Haaland would have been, so that's the one caveat. For now though, we're meeting up with his red jumpered representative. I didn't realize the agents and stuff could be customized now as well, but there we go. Let's just match the current value. That worked last time, so I'm just gonna submit 11 million pounds, 14.1. Look, listen, we're sticking to our price tag. You just don't look menacing in a burgundy v-neck jumper, mate. I can't take you seriously. As I've said multiple times in this series, this is sportsdirect.com FC, so we are gonna try and haggle as much as we can, and thankfully PSV have budged. 13.4 million pounds this time. Their agents rocked up in a t-shirt. Are you mental? We're in the fanciest restaurant establishment in all history. Your player's got a suit on, I'm wearing a fedora, and you can't even come in anything less than a black shirt. Come on, fam. This is high-end stuff. We'll accept rotation player for Daniel because, to be honest, I think he could be more than that. 5 years, again, we'll accept that. That's all calm. They don't want to release clause. Given we've got a little bit to play with, I'm going to offer him 28k. And Daniel Marlon and his black-shirted agent are happy with that one. It's a 4th signing of the first transfer window. The Dutchman comes in from PSV Eindhoven and becomes our backup striker. Pretty happy overall with that signing as well. 13.5 million pounds, almost as much as Yusuf Atal, but I think it's a good investment. Like, he's 76 overall already at 21. He's going to have a good potential. And if you're wondering about his stats right now, you can see 92 acceleration, 82 agility, and 90 sprint speed. So a very, very pacey customer. All his physicals actually really, really decent. Attack position definitely needs some work, only down at 67. His finishing is 78, which is pretty good though. That's higher than his overall. 81 dribbling as well. This is what I was saying. I wanted a striker who I knew could use their feet a little bit more than Joe Linton and Andy Carroll. It just gives us a different option, like a bit of 3-dimensionality. That's not a word. All right, so Dwight Gale has been sold. Mentioned him earlier on when we were looking at the transfer budget. He's gone to Galatasaray of all teams for £9.5 million, and we have been allocated £7 million of that for our transfer budget. 13.47 is what we have right now. Wages a little bit low though, so I might skew that more. Yep, I'm just gonna have to sort out the teams myself. It's not like EA should have implemented a system that did this anyway, but we move regardless. All right, game time. Time to face Spurs in this one, away from home at their new stadium. I've gone into the team myself and changed changed Tottenham's to pretty much the strongest slash the side they would use in real life. So this will 1000% be the biggest test we've faced so far. We played Arsenal on game week 1, but realistically, they didn't have their main goalkeeper, 2 centre-backs. We faced Norwich, again, didn't even play any of their starting 11 players, really. Worth noting as well, Miguel Almiron is back in the side for this one after his suspension. Moussa Sissoko tries to put the ball in. Yusuf Attal, though, wins it in the air. A lot of people talking about Yusuf Attal and the fact that I'm playing him as a left back. I do understand why it sounds stupid because he is a right back, but because of his weak foot, it's basically like playing a full back who can just play either side. So even though he's registered as a right back, he might as well be a left back as well. So I just picked him up. He's a good player. Kane there into Vertonghen. Back through now into Eriksen. I think that took a little deflection, but it's a simple save for Martin Dubravka. Ah, made a huge mistake. Made a huge mistake, lads. Harry Kane is in on goal. Dubravka's saved us. Miguel Almiron's actually carried on his run, and in the centre is Saint-Maximin. We can put the ball in. Why has it gone back there? It's come to Dani Olmo. It's gone in regardless. I didn't want it to go to him at all. I wanted that to go to flipping Alan Saint-Maximin at the back stick. It's gone to the edge of the area. Dani Olmo's chested it down and just slapped it in anyway. It's 1-0 here against Tottenham. Miguel Almiron sets it up. I mean, I was very much questioning the decision making, but it's a really smart finish from the Spaniard who gets his second goal for the club. Dani Olmo. All right, cool. I knew he was going to transform our fortunes. Maybe not this quickly, but he is looking like the creative and classy midfielder that we were looking for. I can't believe we're doing this, to be honest with you. How are we beating Tottenham? Now, Kane, edge of the area, probing. Kane's brought down. I mean, that was just stupid. Cher gets himself a yellow card right on the edge of the area as well. 20 yards out. It's going to be hard to get it up and over the wall from here, but he's managed to do it. What a free kick from Christian Eriksen to level up the scores. It was such a stupid free kick to give away. Can only blame myself really on that one. The ball had already gone and I was pressing B to put pressure on really more than actually put in a stand tackle. What a free kick it is, to be fair. Knuckleball of the century. Oh my god. Harry Kane flicked on for Eriksen. Back to Kane again. Now through to Eriksen. Well cleared by Lascelles and out for a corner. Harry Kane here. Men in the middle. That's Harry Winks. It's deflected and wide off Jamal Lascelles. That could have gone anywhere though. Celso there with some trickery. Harry Kane with a volley. Very optimistic. He had 2 players right around him. He's never scoring from there. Back to Lamela again, but challenged by Attal. Bit of a weak or, well, inaccurate ball though from him, trying to find Almiron. Can't get out of our own half at the moment. Opportunity to swing the ball into the box here with Dani Olmo. Joe Linton is near the penalty spot. So is Saint-Maximin. Might come back to him again. Well blocked though by Tottenham. Lamela trying to swing one in there. Fabian Scher's done well. Jondro Shelvey watched it go over his head. That's a great ball in. Eric Dyer can't connect to it. Dubravka kind of flapped a little bit as well. Pretty poor from everyone involved, really. Eric Dyer plays this one out wide here into Eric Lamela. He's turned away from Attal, put the ball in towards Kane, but that was always going to be an easy one for Dubravka. We can launch that one up as well, and it will go... Oh, no, it won't go all the way to Donyell Marlon. If that was FIFA 19, the goalkeeper would not have come out for that. Fair play to Hugo Lloris, cutting that one out, because Marlon was definitely getting on the end of it as well. It was a really good kick from Dubravka. That's a good ball, though, down the line here for Marlon once more. Back stick here is Saint-Maximin in towards Joe Linton on the turn, but well blocked there by Alderweireld. So we have won the ball back here with Isaac Hayden. This is Donyell Marlon obviously making his debut. Didn't even talk about that. Joe Linton has played that through for Olmo, and the touch was a bit heavy. I should have played it first time. It's my mistake, man. Right at the end of the game there, Dani Olmo with a huge chance to grab us a winner. It ends 1-1. It is a 1-1 draw, though. We cannot complain. That's a really good result away from home at a side like Tottenham. Dani Olmo could have won us the game. As it so happens, he scored anyway. He gets 8.5 as a rating and gets man of the match. Jamal Lascelles with some very important blocks. 7.5 rating for him. Attal as well. Once again, getting a question about a player debut here. I figured it would be a surprise, because that's what we did with Eze, and it worked relatively well. It was always going to be tough. Yeah, it was, to be honest with you. Tottenham are a ridiculously good side, and we'll keep it calm. We'll go for both teams played well, and that's made Newcastle as a whole pretty happy. They had the whole second half to try and find a winner, but couldn't. We'll go for the draw was deserved. Again, keeps team morale pretty happy. Donyell Marlon as well now, even happier than he was before. So I've decided to actually try transfer list another player. I didn't think to do this at the start because I didn't think we'd necessarily be doing it. But Kieran Clark is going up for sale. Interestingly enough, he actually responded by saying thank you, basically. He was like, yeah, I'm glad you decided to sell me. I don't want to be here either. So, I mean, that works, Kieran, mate. I'm glad we can agree on that one, son. Game 2, though, now coming up, and we're facing Watford at St. James's Park. Couple of changes to our side. Shelby back in. Willems also coming in for DeAndre Edlin, and we're going to try Atal as a right back. Welcome to Newcastle, Watford. It's lovely to have you. Time for game number 4 of this season. We got 7 points from 9, unbelievably, despite having played both sides from North London and Norwich. I don't know how we managed this. It's been a really solid start to the season. Isaac Hayden, nice work. Joe Linton. This is Alan St-Maximin, brought down by Kolasinac. Was a good tackle inside the area. Kolasinac has signed from Arsenal. They brought in some good players, actually, of this Watford team. This now is Etienne Capoue, back to Ismail Assar again. Capoue wants more. Willems there, did get a tackle in. That's really unfortunate. And it's 1-0 Watford. I thought tackling was meant to be better. I thought we were meant to be getting these, oh yeah, if a player goes in for a stand tackle, they'll actually get the ball. It's complete BS. It's the exact same tackling system as FIFA 19. They just made it harder to actually position your players. Willems there, how has he not won the ball? I mean, what I did with Cher was not great, I'll fully admit. But Willems has got to, like, actually win the ball there. Like, you've put the challenge in, and it's the weakest challenge of all time. This is what was so annoying about defending on FIFA 19. Wide here into Daniel Marlon. This is Joe Linton. Get the 1-2 going, son. He has done. Nice work. Daniel Marlon bursting through on goal, trying to get his first goal for the club. But really good defending there. Marlon, though, is looking dangerous down that side, I've got to say. Though Watford also looking dangerous. Willems gets the ball clear. Once more, Marlon making a really good run. He looks very dangerous, does this kid. Cut back, find Joe Linton. It's Jojo Shelby, sorry, actually. But the ball was under his feet. Pooh looking for Ismail Assar. He's done really well to control that and put the ball in. Over towards Pereira. St-Maximin has definitely been fouled there. Oh my god, this game is getting on my nerves. Pereira tries to put the ball in, and Dubravka very almost allowed him to put it into the net from there. Isaac Hayden. Ball through there is for Alan St-Maximin. Should have done better there. It's a good save from Ben Foster. Maybe should have tried to lift it over the top. Again, kind of like a Danny Olmo chance at the end of the Spurs game. In that position, I think you're always going to get smothered. Joe Linton trying to play the ball through for Danny Olmo. He's managed to do it as well. Danny Olmo straight, though, at Ben Foster. And palmed away by the Englishman. Joe Linton there into Isaac Hayden. This has got to be 1-1. I've asked for you to put that in the far corner. Isaac Hayden cannot shoot at all. Where's that gone? Oh, I mean, that's just awful. That is a horrendous effort. I mean, I love Isaac Hayden. He definitely should not be in the positions he gets into. Joe Linton, that's through now to Danny Olmo. And finally, we've got the equaliser. One man at least in this side can actually finish his dinner. It's the equalising goal. It's been coming for like 50 minutes now, but finally we have got it. St. James's Park is now buzzing. Ben Foster finally beaten. Joe Linton into Isaac Hayden. I like him in those positions. I just don't like him running through on goal. I've got no confidence in the geezer. I have got confidence, though, in Danny Olmo. The new man has now got 3 goals for the season. Danny Olmo getting himself on the score sheet once again. Ismail Assar putting a ball in. How did Lascelles not get to that one? He was well ahead of Deeney. Thankfully, the header was straight at Dubravka, and he's made a good save. Willems, though, with a nice ball through. That's into Joe Linton, who can cut back. Play it there into Isaac Hayden, and he has found the back of the net this time. It's 2 quick-fire goals. Isaac Hayden, I've ribbed you in the past about your finishing. That, though, was good. Loving this celebration as well. A little bit too close to the camera, sunshine, but I'll allow it. Isaac Hayden has turned it around. It's 2-1. Joe Linton set away, plays it into Hayden, and he turns back and fires it down into that bottom corner. We've gone from not being able to finish whatsoever to being as clinical as you like. We've got an injury in the middle. Who's number 21? That's Daniel Marlon, isn't it? Oh, no, not like this. Not on your debut, sunshine. Jetro Willems still running through, using great strength to get away from the Watford defender, and he's been allowed to just carry on. Jetro Willems all the way through, but he is challenged in the end by Ginter. Why did no one come out? Why did no one else come across to deal with that? Hayden with the step overs. Lovely from him. Still going. Oh, this is beautiful from Isaac Hayden. But then the shot is traditional from him. Should have gone with his right. Why is he gone with his left? To be fair, he could have actually played that across to Joe Linton. Didn't even see him in the centre. It's a great little run, though, from Hayden. I think he saw his name in lights once he'd gone past that many players. That is the end of the game, though. It's 3 wins from 4 and unbeaten from the first 4 games of the Premier League season. We beat Watford 2-1, managed to turn the tide and find a deciding goal. Given there wasn't much to split the two sides, do you have any doubts you come away with the win? I'll just go with I just trusted we'd give it our all. Gotta believe in the belief of the players, really. GOOOOO was one of the best players of the opposition today. How difficult was it to find a way past Watford's defensive lineup? It wasn't easy, you know. I'm actually gonna praise Watford, to be honest with you. It's made our team happier because it indicates that it was a tough game. We managed to still get through it regardless. As you can see, the news focusing on the fact that HAYDEN scores his first goal of the season, but on top of that, we had an injury for Donyell Marlon. I'm finding out in the news instead of via email. But yeah, the new boy is out for 3 weeks with a knee injury picked up in his first full start as a Newcastle player, which is unfortunate. He had a really good start, played really well on the wing. Obviously, I want to deploy him as a striker when I use him most of the time, but he certainly showed he could play out there as well. We're going to transfer offer here for Kieran Clark. It's from Galatasaray, a team that signed Dwight Gale off us. At £6.2 million, it's above his valuation and pretty much the higher end of what the CEO reckons we can get for him. As you can see, we managed to agree on a fee with Galatasaray now as well for Kieran Clark. 6.4, just a bit more than they offered before, but it's still something. So hopefully that deal can go across the line because I now want to bring in a centre-back, hopefully on loan, and then also some kind of backup winger again. I know we just brought in Donyell Marlon, but he's traditionally I want to use him as a backup striker more than anything. I mentioned that I wanted to bring in a player on loan to replace Kieran Clark. Thought it would be Fikayo Tomori, but apparently they're not willing to loan him out, which I get if this was based on real life because he's playing for them, but he is probably their 5th choice centre-back in terms of overall on this game. I am not having any of that. They should want to loan him out. That's ridiculous. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, lads, if you can't loan in Fikayo Tomori from Chelsea, you probably can't flip in loan in anyone. That's so stupid. Anyway, regardless of that, what I did want to do was bring in some kind of winger. We're going to look at 2 potential targets here. The first is a Burnley player, as you can tell by the fact Sean Dyche just walked into the room. It's Dwight McNeil. I don't royally know if this would be a realistic signing. I mean, Newcastle, traditionally are a bigger club than Burnley. I don't mean to offend anyone there, but I think that's kind of common knowledge. So theoretically, it could be a step in, a step up for Dwight McNeil. I don't know. One thing about this deal is I have no idea what his valuation is. Let's go for 7. We've got 12.5, so we can go above that if we need to, but 7 mil. They want 8.7 and a 20% sell-on clause. Getting closer, 8.5 with a 17% sell-on clause. We'll counter again. We'll go for 8.2 after they've countered for 8.5. Let's see whether Sean is happy with that one. Okay, listen, right, cool. 18%, fine. If 1% of a sell-on clause meant that much to you, then whatever. I did want to actually potentially loan in a winger, but Ryan Sessegnon, Harvey Barnes, and Callum Hudson-Odoi weren't available to loan in, which is a bit of a shame. If anyone was wondering who the other option was in terms of a winger, it was this man here, Jared Bowen. 75 overall from Hull City. To be honest with you, I just think I'd rather go for Dwight McNeil now. I'm pretty sure they're the same overall, and McNeil is much younger. I'm also going to delegate this as well. Oh, no, I don't know what his wages are. We'll go for 25k start, 45 don't go higher than, and we're going to have to see how that one goes, because that's really a stab in the dark. Just realized I completely forgot to mention it was actually deadline day as well. An hour goes by, though, and nothing has happened. We need stuff to kind of move along here. I need Clark to be sold so that I know whether I'm definitely buying a winger. I need to know whether McNeil is going to come in. Thankfully, the latter one of those has at least been answered. Dwight McNeil has reached an agreement with our assistant manager, 25k in wages, squad rotation player, and a contract length of 5 years. So that looks as if it's going to become our 5th signing of this window. Dwight McNeil is going to be coming in from Burnley. We'll accept that one. 74 overall, actually, not 75. So Bowen was technically the better player, but McNeil's 3 years younger. His potential must be a skyrocket in comparison. Just wanted to make sure we did sign one more, at least, English player in this window, I think. Marlon's from the Netherlands. Atala's from Algeria, but a French club, which is kind of keeping the French connection at Newcastle going of the past. Danny Olmo from Spain. Eze's from England, but just kind of want to make sure there's at least some homegrown players in this team. And there you have it. Kieran Clark has been sold. £6.4 million and 4.5 is going towards our current transfer budget. Now, we could sign Fikayo Tomori now. We've got £8.8 million pretty much, and I think we probably have the wages just about to cover his signing. However, I'm not entirely sure I'm going to go ahead and do it. Got 4 very decent centre-backs in this side already, and as much as I would love to bring in Fikayo Tomori now, I'm not 1000% sure we could give him proper game time. At the end of the day, he is 72 overall. I'd probably, if we're going to sign him, I'd rather him go up a couple of ratings. Even if it means that he's more expensive, at least we can guarantee him good playing time, especially when he's up against Lascelles and Cher. That's going to be such a tough gig, because they're pretty much shoo-ins in the squad right now. I think we're going to leave that £8.5 million, maybe do a little bit in terms of youth youth scouting for now, and then we'll come back in January. If we feel like we need another centre-back, I will bring in another centre-back. So as you can see, transfer deadline day is now done. £633 million spent on the day. That's a lot, actually. Again, maybe a little bit disappointed we couldn't loan Tomori. I think that's kind of what ended his hopes of signing. I just don't want to dedicate to transferring him in when we've already got 4 very competent centre-backs in the side, all firmly better than him. And for those of you wondering about Dwight McNeil's ratings after we just signed him there on deadline day, he's technically actually an exciting prospect as well, which is interesting. As you can see though, ball control, crossing, curve, and dribbling decent on his technicals, and then on his physicals, his sprint speed is his best attribute, stamina at 77, balance, acceleration, and agility all pretty respectable as well. Now, your player of the episode for last time was Dani Olmo. So on his debut in the series, he managed to get player of the episode. Not a bad introduction. So he should be seeing some of his attributes being boosted in the next couple of episodes. And speaking of which, you'll be able to vote for your player of the episode from this one in the top right of the screen. Whoever you thought was the best player in today's video, vote for them, and they'll have a chance of being treated just how like Dani Olmo was in being boosted in a couple of attributes here and there. Now, in terms of the league table, you can see Chelsea are currently top, the only side with a 100% record in the league. 12 points accumulated, 12 goals scored. Bournemouth, Southampton, and Newcastle currently occupying the rest of the Champions League places. In the background, though, now you'll be seeing the Hall of Fame. This is where all the records and accolades are kept for this series. So anything you want me to add to this, by the way, then feel free to drop it down in the comment section below. I've just gone through an international break, and it's really helped us out because it means Donyell Marlon is already back in full training. It's only one day before the next game, though, which is against Liverpool, so he's probably not fit for that one. Regardless, you'll see it next time, and I do apologise if you've only seen 2 games in this episode and in the last one. Ultimately, it comes down to me feeling ill, so my voice is probably dying, and I just can't really carry on much longer. But also, it's because we've had a lot of transfer activities to sort of pad things out. From next episode onwards, you'll get the usual, which is 4 games every single episode. Played games as well, no simming. Massive shout out to anyone watching in the premiere. You can always check this out, usually at 7:30. Check your sub boxes at like 5 or 6 o'clock, and I'll usually have a premiere sort of like preview there. You can jump in the chat, and you can actually be involved in like talking to me and the rest of the guys in there. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.